Good evening, guys. I am back with another session of English. So, in our previous session, we have finished subject and verb agreement. We even have done the practice questions of subject verb agreement. We have read each and everything about that. So, in today's session, I'm going to start with vocabulary because in our last section, due to shortage of time, we didn't have much time to do vocabulary or one word substitution. So we are going to start with vocabulary today, right? Okay. So our first word here is trivial. Our first word here is trivial. Trivial means of little worth or no importance, something which is unimportant, something which is not momentous, right? Synonyms. What are the synonyms of this? Trifling, frivolous, fiddling, petty, insignificant, nugatory. And what are the antonyms of this word? Important, momentous, of course, unfrivolous. Okay. First, let us consider the sentence related to it. It was utterly ridiculous to cry about something so trivial. So this sentence means that it was completely ridiculous. It was completely insincere to cry about something which is not at all important, which was so unimportant, right? So trivial means of little worth or no importance, something which is unimportant. Okay, so next word is gigantic. Gigantic means huge, huge, something which is very big. So the synonyms are, okay, kindly ignore this line. So the synonyms are colossal, enormous, cyclopean, and antonyms are tiny, diminutive, and miniature. Okay, if you people have watched the ad of colossal kajal. This is a very famous ad on television, right? So the colossal kajal company claimed that the kajal has the huge volume. It would go for long and long. You can use it for an unlimited time, right? For such a gigantic task, there should be some special task force. For such a big task, for such a major task, there should be some special task force. So, two words are here on your screen: trivial, of little worth or no importance, something which is unimportant. And the second word is gigantic. Gigantic means huge, big, large, right? Okay. So our third word is instigate. Instigate means to provoke someone, or we can say to add fuel to fire, right? The synonyms of instigate are foment, incite, provoke, raise, and its antonyms are calm, repress, suppress, etc. The government has instigated an investigation into the cause of the accident. The government has instigated, has provoked, started, raised an investigation into the cause of the accident. Clock. The next word is cloak. Cloak means to cover or hide. Okay, to hide something. Synonyms are camouflage, disguise, conceal. Girls must be knowing a makeup product is known as concealer, right? And you have must watch this kind of ad on television of Lakme or some other cosmetic brand. Concealer is basically used to hide the spots, to hide the acne of your face, right? So concealer is something which hide the things. So cloak means to cover or hide. Its synonyms are camouflage, disguise, conceal. Antonyms are revealed and clear. He cloaked his evil purpose under sweet words. He cloaked his evil purpose under sweet words, which means he used sweet words, but his purpose was evil, which he cloaked under sweet words. Next word is stagger, to move or cause to move someone unsteadily from side to side, which means to lose your balance or to make someone lose his or her balance while walking. Another meaning, see, this word stagger has two meaning. One is to lose balance while walking or to make someone lose balance while walking or running, and the other meaning is to get shocked or surprised. To get shocked or surprised. Now, its synonyms are astonish, amaze, nonplus, surprise, etc. Right? A hard slap on the back staggered him. When he got a hard slap on his back, he lost his balance. So he got staggered. It staggered me to see how much money they have spent on the project. It means that I'm amazed, I'm shocked, surprised to see that a huge amount of money they have spent on the project. Got the point? So we have learned total 5 words till now. Trivial of little. So in total, we have learned 5 words today, and these 5 words are trivial, which means something unimportant, gigantic, which means something huge, and the other words are trivial, gigantic. These are the 2 words. Instigate is the third word. Colossal is the fourth word, right? Okay, so Sorry for the interruption. Okay, so till now we have learnt in total 5 words. One is trivial, which means not important, gigantic, which means huge, instigate, which means to provoke someone, stagger means to move, to lose your balance or to get shocked or surprised, and clock means to cover or hide something. Clock means to cover or hide something. Okay, so we have done with our vocabulary part, and now in today's class we are going to start a new chapter, which is noun, right? Okay, so the definition says noun is the name of a person, place, thing, quality, condition, and action. Noun is the name of a person, place, thing, quality, condition, and action. You need to understand that noun is basically a naming word. Noun is a naming word. Noun means name, right? Whether it is a name of a person, place, or thing, or quality, or condition and action, it is noun. You need to understand that noun is a type of parts of speech. What I'm saying, noun is a type of parts of speech. So let us first understand what are parts of speech. See, we all are learning English here. On this platform, we all are learning English. Now, what is English? Of course, we all know that English is a language. We all are learning English here, and we all know that English is a language. Now, how we form language? How a language is formed? Language is framed through alphabet, right? And by joining alphabet, we get words. What I'm saying right now, I'm saying that we all are gathered here to learn what? English. And we all know that English is what? English is language. How we frame a language, how we create a language. We create a language through alphabet. How we use these alphabet in creating the language? By joining the alphabet, we form words. And you need to know one thing: these words, these same words, are also known as parts of speech. These same words are also known as parts of speech. Now, by joining these words, what we get? Sentences. English, language. Language, how we form language, create language, alphabet. By joining alphabet, we get words. Words are also known as parts of speech. By joining words, or you can say by joining parts of speech, what we finally get? We finally get a sentence. And that's how a language is formed. And that's how we can understand the language. Got my point? So, now if I talk about parts of speech, how many parts of speech are there? Could you just tell me how many parts of speech are there? Okay, let's write noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, conjunction, preposition, interjection, and articles. So in total, there are 9 parts of speech: noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, conjunction, preposition, interjection, and articles. Now, you need to remember one thing. You need to remember this thing, that only noun and pronoun can be used as the subject or object of the sentence. What I'm saying that there are just two possibilities. Only noun and pronoun can behave as subject and object of the sentence. You need to remember this thing. You need to understand this thing, that only these two parts of speech can either work as the subject of the sentence or they can work as the object of the sentence. Now, as far as the word subject is concerned, we have read a whole chapter about the word subject. We already know that subject is someone or something who either performs the action or about whom we are talking. Who either performs the action or about whom we are talking. Now coming to the word object. Could anyone tell me what is an object? How you people are going to define an object? See, subject is the one who performs the action. Verb itself is an action, and object is the one on whom the action is performed. Subject is the one who performs the action. Verb itself is an action, and object is the one on whom or which the action has been performed. For example, I gave chocolates. I did what? I gave. So I is the subject. I performed something. Gave is the verb, as it is the action here. And I gave what? I gave chocolates. So chocolates are the object here. You need to remember one single thing. You just need to remember one single thing, that only noun and pronoun are two parts of speech which can either behave as a subject or an object in a sentence. No other parts of speech can become subject and object in a sentence. Okay. So, okay, I'm writing few sentences here. Let me first write the sentences. I told you English is what? Language. How? Through alphabet. Alphabet are joined together in order to form words. Words are also known as parts of speech, right? And by joining words, what we form finally? We finally form sentences. What we finally form? We finally form sentences. Now, could you just tell me how we frame sentences? What is the basic structure of the sentence? Could anyone please tell me how we form sentences? See, if I talk about the basic structure of the sentences, then basic structure of sentences are subject plus verb. Those who are thinking, those who have in their mind that the basic structure of a sentence is subject plus verb plus object. So you need to remember one thing. There are just two components that are necessary in a sentence, and these components are subject and verb. Object can be present in a sentence and object cannot be present in a sentence. Object is not a necessary component in the sentence. You need to understand this part very carefully, right? Okay, so these two are the necessary component in this sentence, subject and verb. Object is not necessary. It can be there, it cannot be there. Both things are correct. Now, what I have written here, types of verb. So basically there are two types of verb. One is transitive verb and another one is intransitive verb. Okay, let me write a sentence in the column of transitive verb. I have written here, I want. Do you think that this is a complete sentence? Do you people think that this is a complete sentence? I want. I is the subject here. Want is the verb here. See, if I just say I want, if I just say I want in front of you, are you getting any complete meaning from my this statement? No, you are not getting any complete meaning here, right? But if I complete it in a sense, I want books. I want books. Do you think now is it a complete sentence? Now this is a complete sentence. We all know. See, I is the subject here, want is the verb here, and books are the object here. When I said I want, the meaning was not complete. How can we say, I mean, what is the basic definition of a sentence? How can you say a structure that this is a sentence? Sentence is basically a group of words that can provide us a complete meaning. The basic definition of sentence says that it is a group of words that can provide us a complete meaning. So when I have written I want, this was not complete. You don't know what I want. I just said I want. No. But when I said I want books, my meaning was totally clear. Now, I want books. So I was the subject in this sentence. Want is verb here and books is the object. Now, without books, the sentence was not complete. Without books, the sentence was not complete. So you need to understand one thing, that there are certain verbs that always need an object after them. I said there are certain words that need an object after them. And these verbs, basically, particularly these verbs are known as transitive verbs. Transitive verbs always need an object after them. One thing. Second thing, the object of transitive verb either gives the answer of what or it gives the answer of whom. What I said that the object of the transitive verb either give the answer of what or it gives the answer of whom. Suppose I want what? I want books. We are getting the answer of what here? If I write a sentence, I like my mom. I is the, if I write I like, do you think it's a complete sentence? No, it's not a complete sentence. You're not at all getting a complete meaning here, right? So I like is not a complete sentence, but when I write I like my mom, now this is a complete sentence. I is the subject here, like is the verb here, and my mom is the object here. Now, I like whom? I like my mom. I want what? I want books. You need to remember two things. Transitive verbs are the verbs that always and always need an object after them. And the object of transitive verb either gives the answer of what, inverted commas, or it gives the answer of whom, again inverted commas, right? We can look at different sentences as well. I ate. I ate what? I ate my lunch on. I ate my lunch. I is the subject, ate is the verb. I ate what? I love my mother. I subject, love verb. I love whom? Transitive verbs always need an object after them, and transitive verbs object either provides you the answer of what or it provides you the answer of whom. Okay. Now, I'm writing few sentences here. Before moving to intransitive verb, I'm just writing few sentences here. I started a company. She met her friend. They read a book. She called her husband. She gave she made the box. She prepared the guests a meal. She wrote me a letter. So in total, there are 7 sentences which you can see on your screen. I'm sorry for bad writing. I started a company. She met her friend. They read a book. She called her husband. She made the box. She prepared the guests a meal. She wrote me a letter. Basically, what you need to do in all the sentences, you just need to find out that which of the words are subject here, which of the words are verb here, and which of the words are object here. Basically, in all the sentences, we just need to find out subject, verb, and object, right? So if I consider the first sentence, I did something here. I started a company. So I is the subject. Let me choose some other color for better understanding. I is the subject here. Started is the verb here. I started what? A company. Object. She, subject. She did what? She met. The action is meeting here is verb. She met whom? Her friends. So her friend is the object here. They read a book. They did something. They did what? Reading. So the doer is the subject here. Read is the action here. So it is verb. They read what? A book. The book is the object here. She called her husband. She, subject, called, verb. Her husband, object. She made the box. Again, she, subject, made, verb, box, object. Right? She prepared the guests a meal. She is subject. Prepared is, of course, the verb. Now, you need to think. There are 2 words left. One is guest and another one is meal. Now, you need to tell me that what do you think? Guest is the object or a meal is the object? And similarly, if I see the second sentence, she is the subject here. Wrought is the verb here. And again, there are 2 words left. One is me and the other one is letter. So what do you think? Me is the object here or letter is the object here? She prepared the guests a meal. One thing. She wrote me a letter. She is the subject. Prepared is the verb. She prepared what? She prepared a meal. This is object. She prepared whom? She prepared. Yes. She wrote what? A letter. She wrote whom? Me. Are you people getting my point? See, what I need to convey through these 2 sentences, you need to understand that the number of subject and verb always remain the same. The number of subject and the number of verb always remain the same. If a sentence has 3 subjects, a sentence must have 3 verbs. If a sentence has 2 verbs, the sentence must have 2 subjects. You need to remember this thing. Then you need to remember a sentence can have as many objects as it can have, right? A sentence can have more than one, two, three objects. A sentence can have many objects. There is no correlation between the number of objects, subject, and verb. It can have many objects, right? So in these sentences, the guest is an object, meal is also object, me is also object, and letter is also an object. You need to you need to understand that there are two types of object. One is direct object and the second one is indirect object. Now, what is the difference between direct object and indirect object? Direct object is an object which gives you the answer of what? Direct object always gives you the answer of what? And indirect objects always give you the answer of whom. I'm saying there are two types of object. One is direct object and indirect object. Direct object always gives you the answer of what, and indirect object always gives you the answer of whom. She prepared whom, the guest, which means the guest prepared what, a meal, which means meal is a direct object. She wrote whom, so me is indirect object. She wrote what, letter. So letter is a direct object. Is that clear to everyone? Transitive are the verbs that always need an object with them. The object of transitive verb either provides you the answer of or it provides the answer of whom. Object is of two types, direct object and indirect object. When you are getting the answer of what, the object is direct. When you are getting the answer of whom, the object is indirect object, right? Moving on. intransitive verb. Intransitive verb. If I talk about intransitive verb, let's talk about intransitive verb. In this case, what happens if I write a sentence? Birds fly. Do people think that it's a complete sentence? Do you people think that this is a complete sentence? This is a complete sentence. Bird is the subject and fly is the verb here, right? They are birds and birds are flying. Birds. Do we need an object here? Do you think we need an object here? No. We do not need any kind of object in this particular sentence. The sentence is complete. You need to understand intransitive verbs are the verbs that do not need an object with them. Intransitive verbs are verbs that do not need an object with them. Something. If we need to add something after it, what if we need to write anything after it? See, I can write it in a way, birds fly in the sky. Birds fly in the sky. Now you can write an object. There is a possibility that you can write an object after intransitive verb, and that is possible by adding a preposition. There are two things which you need to remember here. First is intransitive verbs do not need object after them. Subject is sufficient in sentence. Second thing, if you want to write it in case of intransitive verb, you first need to add a preposition here. You first need to add a preposition in this sentence. Is it clear to everyone? Birds fly in the if I went. I subject went is basically an intransitive verb. We do not need an object after it. But if I have to write the place where I can write, I went to the market. So again, I need to add a preposition here. Is it clear, you people? So we have read till now. We have read. We in our section we have already read the subject verb. We started noun today. I have told you that noun is some noun and pronoun as the two parts of speech that can work as in the object of sentence. Second, third thing I told you about object in detail. There are two types of verbs: transitives and intransitives. Transitive verbs always need an object after them. The object of transitive either provides you the sort of what or provides of whom, right? And the intransitive verbs do not need object after them. If you want to add an object after intransitive, then in that situation you need to add preposition. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. So before discussing anything about noun today, let me teach you one substitution, and we will be learning nouns into class. We will be learning more about intransitive. I'll be telling you more. But first, let's complete one substitution because I want that in any class we would know this part of section, right? This is very important. Where some days we are going to one word substitution or idiom phrases or vocabulary. So let us focus on this for 5 to 10 minutes. One substitution, right? Section of dead, find all of the dead. When we dissect dead body to find the reason that why it occurred, that process basically known as autopsy. It is known as autopsy. Feeling inside you which tell you what is right, what is wrong. Whatever the person next to you is, much even he is considering you, there is a thing inside us which tells that this is right, this is wrong. And that particular feeling is known as conscience. That particular feeling is known as conscience. Animals can live on land and in water. Some animals, we already read it in our science books, in our science textbooks, schools. There are certain animals who live on land as well as in water, like frog. These animals are known as amphibians. Some scientifically studies birds. The one, like some study about flowers, studies about corn, some studies about history. Similarly, there are people studies of the birds, and those people are known as ornithologists. Those people are known as ornithologists. A man who wastes his money on luxury, a man who spends recklessly, a man who spends carelessly for his comfort, is known as extravagant. A school boy who frequently cuts classes. Instead of cuts, we can write bunk classes. A school boy who frequently bunks classes, who frequently misses the class without having an official permission. When you have official permission, that means you are absent, but bunk means you do not have an official person. Those who on regular basis are known as truant. Need to pronounce it as truant. A person is well known in unfavorable ways. There are some people who are famous because of positive things, and there are some people who are famous and well known due to negative things. Like the people who are to underworld, they are famous due to the negative deeds they have done. Such people are known as notorious. They are known as notorious. Someone having many skills. If you have someone who is good at dancing, is good at studies, is good at art crafts, then a particular person who has so many skills is known as versatile. Versatile. Something that causes death. Anything due to which it can take place is known as fatal. Poison is fatal because poison can cause death. To look at someone in an angry or threatening way, to look to someone in an angry or threatening way is known as glower. He glowered at me with his cruel eyes. Means he looked at me in an angry or threatening way with his cruel eyes. So the total 10 years cutting off a dead body to know the reason of the death is known as autopsy. Feeling which tells us what is right and what is wrong and consign. Animals that can live land and is on water like dogs are amphibians. Someone scientifically studies the bird, or just a man who wastes his money on luxury, who spends his money recklessly for his comforts is extravagant. A boy, anyone who frequently buses classes, office, or any place known as truant. A person who is well known, who is famous for negative stuff, is notorious. The person who possesses many skills inside him is versatile. Anything that can cause death is known as fatal. To look someone an angry or threatening way is known as a glow. These are the words for today. This is all about today's class, and will be continuing from here only tomorrow, same time. Till then, bye bye.